Hi everybody, so this is the gold forecast for June the 29th to July the 3rd, I believe. So June the 29th to July the 3rd. Last week I said we were bearish and I gave you the 4,000 target and I believe the level below that, which is below this auction level. And don't worry, by the way, if none of this is making sense, I will cover as much as I can in one video as quickly as I can. But this is video number 8, so there are other videos you can just uh, check out. All right, so what I'm going to do actually, because I cleaned up the charts, is I'm going to switch on the auction levels. Don't worry if you don't know what they are. I just want to quickly give you my take for next week, and then we can go from there. All right, so all these lines are the auction levels. They're just lines. They're just invisible lines on the chart. They act like support and resistance based on touch points, give or take. Okay, so I usually just draw them on because I don't want the levels on because it's a bit messy. But anyway, we've got this level just below us, which is at the 3,000, so 3,870. I thought we will get that this week. So by the way, I'm recording on Friday, not Sunday. So the market closed a couple of hours ago, recording this video. I thought we'll try and get there. We didn't. We got a reversal instead. So I just exited the trade. I just because obviously I don't really know how next week will kind of start. And now you can see we've got a few levels below us. So going into next week, that really hasn't changed. My expectation is we'll probably go into an auction level above us just to get momentum to come back down again. And obviously, if we're coming back down again, we're going to revisit auction levels that we've already been at, in which case the 4,000 level right here. And then the next level is the 3,870. That just for next week. For 2026, I'm targeting. I'm going to switch this off now. Oh, by the way, uh, just before I go, look at this Monday's price. So remember I said auction for price is moving from one auction level to the next. That's all it's doing, okay? That's all it's doing. It's like a PD array. Price opens on Monday and goes up. Where is it going up into? Now, for most people, they may be looking at this fair value gap or something. But look here, there's an auction level right here. And if you look to the left, there's another one where price, see right, the bigger one here, where price, this taps right into it and then reverses and goes where? Into another auction level. So the point I'm trying to make is that all of these forecast videos are just based on auction levels. That's it. And I'm trying to answer two questions. Not in the videos, but as a trader, I'm trying to answer two questions. Where does the trade take place and when does the trade take place? So the first question deals with location. That's what the forecast videos are for. The when is stuff to do with your model. That's different. So ICT, VSA, all that kind of stuff. That's more mechanical. That's price mechanics. I don't cover that. Sometimes I do, but don't really cover that. So now going into next week, my bias still remains bearish. That means any move up, I will short. Okay, so I'm out of the trade, looking for a new trade. I get in and I get out of trades at auction levels. So the auction level above us, this is a new one, is at 4,000, say 120, something like that. 4,100. That's a new one. And then there's obviously the dynamic support, which is the moving average. So when price is below that, I'm generally bearish, and when price is above that, I'm generally bullish. So that's what I'm looking for. New week opens, new week manipulates up into an auction level. I take my trade back down. Okay, so my mindset shifts from location to when. You know, the when, the how. That's a mindset shift. Okay, I start to use models. Once I know where, once price gets into that location, I start to look for the cause. That's it. But now I'm looking at sessions and times and structure and all that kind of stuff. But that's a whole different ballgame. Yeah, so hopefully you've got the level. So, oh, by the way, if you are bullish, the next major, so again, major auction level is 4,000, what do we have here? 4,480, something like that. 4,480. Now I'm using a Forex chart, by the way. So if you're using a futures chart, just, I don't know, plus minus 20 or something points, and you get those levels. So again, these are the major levels, not all the auction levels. Again, just to keep the video short. But I'm bearish. That means my expectation is price goes up, it's a retracement, not a reversal. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. It may be a reversal, like a full-blown reversal, in which case that's fine. Now, my 2026 target, like I said, is still the same. It's the 3,500 below us. I deleted the old ones. So 3,500. We do have auction levels between current price and 3,500. I think every 100 points or something like that. Um, but I don't expect them to hold, right? Now, the 3,500 target is misaligned or not aligned, I should say, with professionals, but the Barclays, the Merrill Lynch's, Goldman Sachs, these guys, which they have their targets at 5,000 plus. Okay, so they're expecting bullish action. I'm expecting bearish action. Uh, but again, that's for 2026. So hopefully I've tried to explain, and this is mainly for if you're watching this video for the first time. I do have other forecast videos that hopefully give you a historic pattern. But I understand that most people probably just see one video and then come back later, but most people are seeing this video for the first time. So hopefully I've explained auction levels. I've explained the levels. Price is just moving from one auction level to the other. That's all it's doing. That's all it's doing. And I understand that through observation over years, right? Um, and we are just going to the next target. So your TP should really just be the next reasonable target. I explained in the last video why last week I was looking at 3,500 as a reasonable target now, and that's because we're in the last 25% of the entire dealing range. So I expect far more quicker action. We didn't really get that. Well, we kind of got it this week, kind of non indecisive week. I mean, we got to the top to the 4,000 level by Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday we just reversed. We just started to retrace basically. I call it a reversal when it's a little bit more aggressive, and retracement when it's a bit churning. Okay, so that's it. And I was going to cover some of the checks I do when I'm looking at a reversal, but I'll do that another time. If there's anything that you want me to cover specifically in these forecast videos, I'm trying to run through them as quickly as possible because of time. But is there anything you want me to cover specifically, or if there are things that I miss that you want me to kind of re-explain, let me know. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.